Today's episode is brought to you by DNA Sports Training. If you or someone you know wants to take their game to the next level, then hit up DNA Sports Training. Visit DNASportsDenver.com to book a training session. We offer specialized sports training from football to track and field and everything else in between. Whether you're an offensive or defensive lineman wanting to get off the ball better, or you're an athlete wanting to improve your overall speed and agility, make sure you hit us up at DNASportsDenver.com. Sign up for a training session, cop some merch, listen to the podcast, everything else. Go show us some love. Let's go. Yeah.
Yo, brother, it's been a minute.
What up, Dom?
How you doing?
You know, DNA Sports Podcast, episode 19. We up on here real quick. Here with a special guest.
Special
in a special spot. Shout out to our man, AJ Gallegos, a.k.a. AJ the Chef.
Yo, what up? What up?
A.k.a. Coach AJ.
Coach AJ.
A.k.a. AJ get that cut right. A.k.a. AJ with a fish on the line.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Hey,
That's
man,
it.
thank you for having us, bro. The facility looks great.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it, man. It's really cool what you showed us around. And,
Yeah.
dude, it's dope.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate this, man. This is dope. First podcast for me, so
Beautiful facilities,
bear with me.
man. Beautiful facilities.
Right on.
Congrats to you. Before we even get into this, bro, you've been grinding for a long time, and I just want to give you your flowers, brother.
Right on, bro. I appreciate
Congrats.
that.
I'm very, very proud of you,
Thank
my
you.
brother.
Thank you. Right on. Yeah, same to you guys. You guys are doing really, really dope things for the community. This is really dope. Thank you.
Man, so, to see what you got going on here, AJ, super proud, super proud, man.
Yeah.
I love fishing. My dad used to take me fishing all the time as a kid, so I kind of grew up learning how to fish.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's super exciting, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is dope.
Yeah.
This is really dope concept.
Right on.
You don't see it too much, and obviously we'll dive into that a little bit more here later on. But yeah, man, this is super cool, bro. Super
Right
excited.
on. Thank you. Right on.
So what's new, Don?
Nah, man, it's been a while. Sports changing from one sport to the next. DJ started wrestling. 2 tourneys in, kind of liking it, starting to grasp the whole concept of being the aggressive kid he needs to be instead of the little mama's boy, but he's coming out and he's doing his thing, man. 3rd place, first one, 2nd place, second one. So he's doing his thing. I'm very, very proud of him.
What's up?
So, and young Catch, AJ's son out there wrestling too. All of those boys are out there working hard, man. Coach Zach got some working, man. Shout out to Coach Zach Gutierrez.
Yep.
He got them boys training, dude. And when I say training, they're working hard, bro.
Zach don't play no games.
Yeah.
That's probably my one regret from high school, man. Was I didn't wrestle, and I was going to my, I don't know, just excuse after excuse. But my junior year, I messed up the knee a little bit, so it was rehabbing. And then my senior year, I did some damage to my knee earlier in the season, but had some offers on the table. So, but wrestling always does create better athletes, man. And I'll advocate for our guys to always wrestle because, dude, I mean, just understanding your leverage, understanding how to work your leverage and how to work your body, especially if you're on the offense, defensive line, or you're a linebacker, learning how to tackle, get that grip right. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling is legit, bro.
My wrestlers have always been my better football players, man, especially defensively.
Yeah, without a doubt.
At the youth level, for sure.
When you see a kid tackle on the football field, you can kind of tell that kid is wrestling before.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like the way they shoot for a tackle, you can see it. Their technique from wrestling.
And again, it goes back to understanding that leverage too. Not to get too high on somebody. That you can't always overpower them. So, what better way to understand how to work your body if you know how to use your leverage against somebody taller than you, somebody bigger than you? You know what I mean? Get their body to working against them. So,
bro, speaking of that, using your leverage and your skill against somebody. Did you see the fight last night between Crawford and Avancian, man?
No, I didn't.
We all talked about it before. We've been on the pod. Yeah. It should have been him and Spence.
Right.
And he basically just had a dude in there for a sparring match.
That's all it is.
He punched him around for a while and knocked him out in the 6th. Yeah. Everybody knew it was coming.
That's what's frustrating about when you get, you get fights that should happen, and then you see the fights that do happen. Yeah. And it's like, there's hardly anybody that's in the same class as Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford in that weight class. Right. So, like, why we beating around the bush, dude?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's go get the fight on.
Yeah.
Hey, this year it should happen now, right? There's no more talking.
No more excuses.
It should
man.
happen, man.
No more excuses.
We waited for it. It had to be pushed back again. We'll see.
Tell you what, I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it took Pacquiao and Mayweather freaking 5 years longer than it should have to get together and get them going.
Right.
You know, we'll probably see Spence and Crawford at the end of their careers when they need that last money grab. You know what I mean? To kind of send them off. It's unfortunate.
I'm waiting for something to happen with Ryan and Tank, something to fold there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no,
that is going to happen.
That would be a nice
say it's
one too,
happening.
bro. But, you know, I'd like to wait until they actually ink it out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because all the talking and
bro,
talking,
we got
you never know what's
so
gonna
stoked
happen.
like I don't know, about 8 episodes ago, man. We were talking about Spence and Crawford supposed to fight.
Yeah.
So super excited, and then
It
fell through.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Boxing ain't what it is.
No.
What it used to be. You know what I mean? To where you hear about a fight and then it's gonna go down.
Yeah,
you know
the
what I
best
mean?
fighters fought. You know, it's not like that no more. For
sure.
Yo, speaking about the best, since we were on here last week, you know, had the high school state playoffs going on in state.
Yeah.
Broomfield taking the 4A, Lutheran taking 3A, and then Cherry Creek 4-peating again, or not again, but winning again and 4-peating, winning 5A.
Man. And shout out to Broomfield. You know, they have one of the top quarterbacks in all of Colorado, if not the top quarterback in Cola Crew, bro. And that kid's a straight stud. He just committed to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You know, so he's gonna make their program better automatically, and it's just good to see these kids that have been playing football since their youth, growing up and dominating at the high school level. You know, that just says something about all the youth programs that are out there getting these kids prepared for the next level.
Bro, we talked about it too, that battle for in the semis between him and Blake Barnett.
Yeah.
With Erie and Broomfield. That was a freaking shootout that went down to the wire, and you know, Broomfield pulled through.
Right.
It's good to see high school football improving here in Colorado. I know it gets a bad knock. There's some really good recruits coming out of Colorado, really good football players coming out of Colorado. So hopefully, obviously with the addition of Coach Prime up in CU, and we'll get into that a little bit more later, but hopefully with that addition, man, we start keeping some of these kids, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it for sure.
I mean, I don't know if it's Louis. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if these kids are Louis, but you know, we'll get into that though. Again, man, just height of the NFL season. We're into December. The Broncos, unfortunately, are pretty irrelevant in December. Raiders just became irrelevant in December. My Dolphins are doing all right, but it is December and they have to go to Buffalo in the cold. And you know,
Dolphins are like the Cowboys.
Whoa.
You know, we're gonna kind of wait to see what happens. We'll wait till we get into the playoffs and see what happens there. We ain't gonna give you your flowers just yet. No, I'm just playing. Dolphins are legit, but you said it, bro. Going through Buffalo in the heat of the winter, that's going to be a different beast.
I like what you did, the heat of the winter.
Yeah, you like that? You like that, right?
Ain't nothing heat of the winter in Buffalo, bro.
They're not going to enjoy it, bro. The last guy who could do that is in the NFC now.
Listen, they've never done well.
What I mean? Brady's in the NFC, bro. Dude, I don't see no one doing it.
They've never done well in December in New England, New York, or Buffalo, which is part of the problem when I look at that schedule when they first let it go. I see when they're playing New York in New York, when they're playing Buffalo in Buffalo. Because if they get them early in the season, all right, their chances are better. But if they're playing them in December, forget about it.
And that's if they go to Buffalo, though, still, because there's still the stretch going on. Buffalo right now does have that number 1 seed, but, you know, KC is still on their heels, bro.
Well, we still got
if they start slipping, KC jumps up above them and takes that number 1 seed. They could still drop back and lose the division. You know what I mean? So
they still got one in Buffalo too for the division, I think. So you know, there is that opportunity. But you know what? The thing is, if you want to win, you want to be successful, and AJ, you could probably attest to this. Sometimes you have to go do things that you're not expected to do, or things that don't seem like it's likely to happen. Right? You have to be bold. You have to kind of step out on a limb, and it's the same thing in the league, bro. Like. If these teams want to be the next team up or the next team that has anything expected of them, they're going to have to go do it in December.
Yeah, but don't get it twisted. They want to take care of it now so that way they don't have to deal with the weather in Buffalo in December. You know what I'm saying?
It's no different than teams wanting to win that number 1 seed when New England was going through their thing because nobody want to go play in New England. Like, if you got that at home, your chances are a lot better, whether they're recording or filming your practices or whatever New England does, because New England loves to do a lot of things. But you're not going to win in New England on the road in the playoffs, dude. You're trying to get that shit at your house. So I understand it. Yeah.
And with NFL playoffs coming up, that means the fantasy playoffs are even closer.
Oh.
And, bro, me and you are battling for that second place spot right now. You're ahead in points, but this week I got to beat my opponent plus you, and then I jump up into second place, get that bye, and then it's over with for you boys.
I'm going to take that bye.
I'm going to beat you guys with your Dolphins.
That's fine. You ain't going to see me. You won't lose in the first round, dog.
We'll see.
I think I auto-drafted in one of my leagues, and I'm in, like, second place.
Hey, people are probably hating, too. Auto-draft. Oh, you know one thing I don't want to miss, bro, just thinking about it, is Colorado School of Mines, man. Their football team just won their semifinal matchup against Sanford yesterday.
Wow.
They're going to the national title game, bro. They're going to be playing against Ferris State. That's big. We haven't had a D2 school make it that far in some time, so super excited for the boys over there at Colorado School of Mines. Talked to our boy Eli Payes, going to try to get him on.
Shout out to Payes.
He's doing a bunch of cool things in college, man, living that college life, but doing it in a fun way. So I'm super proud to hear that. But shout out to Colorado School of Mines on them, on their accomplishments and their we're going to go play for a national title, bro.
Hey, let's go get it. Colorado.
Hey, I want to backtrack backtrack a little bit too, and back to the high school thing, man. I got to shout out Roosevelt High School. Johnstown, man. But if you guys didn't know this, I spent a year out there when I was a kid. My dad moved us out of North Denver. We went and we lived up there my 6th grade year. I went to Milliken Middle School. I was bused from Johnstown, so I have a lot of good friends, a lot of ties still up there, man.
Nice.
And Roosevelt was the school if we would have still lived there, we would have went there. But
they got a good program.
Good program.
Shout out Coach Justin Gallis, and he's a guy I went to school with. His younger brother Tyler, coaching at Stanley Lake. All the Gallis family. Shout out to them, but. Big time. That's huge, man. Huge for Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Good for them, man. They're doing their thing.
And they've been on the cusp of it for a while.
Yeah, and it looks like they're building something that's going to last, too. It ain't one of those one-and-done type things. You know what I mean? They're going to be very sustainable in their success.
Yeah, for sure.
Big time. Hey, it's always fun, and we used to go out and play, like, Frederick and Meade and all them. But it's fun going to them small towns, seeing them boys play ball. Because ball is everything in them small towns. And I wish we can harness that in the city. Like over at North, wherever we're at, I wish we can harness that here in the city. There's a lot of distractions here in the city, a lot of things to do. Right. But man, like when I went out and seen Fruta and Bear Creek play, like just the way they show out there. Right. When I lived out in Grand Junction for a while, the way they show out, everyone shows up like it's the happening event for the town. Exactly. And it'd be dope. I mean, we had a little bit like when we were at North, it was great to see a lot of the people coming back to the program and filling up the stands because it's sad sometimes you go to some of these DPS games, bro, and there's nobody in the stands.
Yeah. Like, it's so hard, though, bro, when you have a population like ours and so many schools right in the same vicinity. Like when you talk about North, you got West, you got you got Jefferson, you got Wheat Ridge, you got all these schools in the same vicinity, and they're all competing with each other. But when you go out to Meade and Frederick, it's just Meade and Frederick. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no schools around them competing for all them kids.
You're not choicing rolling across town to try to go to that other school.
For sure. Like so, they have no other choice but to go to the high school that they live in the area for. Like that's you just said it right now. If you still live by Roosevelt, you'd be going to Roosevelt. You know what I mean? And not by necessarily choice all the time, but out of convenience for the parents. And with all the schools in the same vicinity, it just makes it every kid just gets to choose.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. It's just like a lot more options, a lot of more opportunity to do something different. Right. So it's definitely true. But shout out to all them schools. Eaton, I think Eaton, 3-peated or 4-peated again? I think it 3-peated. Wow. So for 2A, so it's dope, man. High school football is alive and well. Yeah. Unfortunately, the season's over now. We get into other funner things like wrestling, basketball, and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. But the reason why we're here, our brother AJ. First of all, if you don't know AJ, man, get to know him. He's a pillar in the community, in my opinion. I mean, he's a coach. He's taught the artistry of barbering to kids in schools, and he continues to go above and beyond for the community. So it's super, super, super honored to have you with us, AJ.
Man, thank you. Thank you.
Introduce yourself a little bit, AJ. Just tell us about yourself, brother.
Yeah, man. So thanks for having me, guys. It's an honor, man, and a blessing. I'm AJ Gallegos. Master barber of about 16, 17 years now. I got my license in 06, man. I came up, you know, in a barbershop. My mom's a barber. She's probably one of my biggest influences. You know, it's funny, man, because, you know, I came up an athlete, you know, played football at North Glen High School all 4 years and did some amazing things, man, and all conference, this and that. You know, start bringing up my Al Bundy days. But I had an opportunity to play some college ball. I didn't take it, man. And at the time, I just it's funny, man. I didn't know what to do, and I had already had some Clipper experience, just, you know, cutting up my friends in the basement. And so, you know, my dad kind of talked me into going to barber school after my senior year, man. And so, yeah, here we are, man. You know, it's my story's, you know, it's kind of been a roller coaster, man. You know, a lot of hard work, a lot of ups and downs, like you guys, you know, all dads and men can experience. But man, it's been a blessing, man. And you know, barbering really, I tell people, it saved my life, man. It's I think when you finally realize that point, when you're a man, that you know, when God finally, you know, tells you this is what you're meant to do, and you grasp that, you know, that's when it really starts turning, man. That's when you really start understanding life, man. And this is what God gave me, and being a barber has been a blessing, man. Being a barber has opened so many doors for me, so many opportunities, man. Coaching, you know, I've got to cut the kids that I coach. I've got to see them grow, my own kids, and it's been a great run, man. And I'm super excited to have opened this business here, Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers. You know, I owned a barbershop for 9 years. COVID, you know, had to sell that business after 9 years. It was tough, man. Went through a lot of challenges, but this last year I was able to kind of just, you know, rebound, rethink, rejuvenate, and came across this opportunity here in Wheat Ridge, man, and I jumped on it, man, and it's been incredible, man. And you know, Cutthroat has been a brand that I came up with about 5 or 6 years ago that I've kind of had in my back pocket, and you know, I've always wanted to do something with it, and there was no better time than now, man. So it's been a blessing, man. I'm really excited, man.
Dude, great location, easy to find.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Walking in here, it feels at home.
Yeah.
Like this feels like a place you want to get cut up at, man.
For sure.
I'm
this
all
feels
about
like a place I just want to come chill.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sure.
The essence of a barbershop, like back in the day, remembering going with your pops or your grandpops, you know what I'm saying? And you go to the barbershop and they just sit there and talk shop all day long. You know what I'm saying?
The game you learn.
That gives this kind of vibe, you know what I mean? And,
for sure.
and it's great. You know, and it's great to hear your story. Some of the questions I have, man, is where have some of the places that being a barber has been able to take you?
Oh man, I've done some crazy things. So a lot of people don't know this, but I was been hired by Adidas. You know, I got to my boy, shout out Gerardo. He works for LeBron's company out in LA, but he's from North Denver. Prime example of success, man, is Gerardo. You know, he graduated from North, I believe, in 06, but graduated from CU. Ended up doing some amazing things. He's living in LA, but he thinks about me when he has an opportunity, man. So he got me connected one time. I got to cut Pusha T with Adidas for a commercial, man. I'm in a music video cutting B.O.B.'s hair, you know what I mean? So just being that barber has just, you know, it's elevated me to so many different opportunities, man, and so many great things. I was also, you know, I think one of my biggest accomplishments as a barber is being an instructor, man. I taught at Emily Griffith for 4 years, from 2015 to 2019, and it was great. I'm actually still hired there as a substitute. I decided to take on being a barber full time in my business, and that's why I had left teaching at the time. But I'm still heavily involved with EGTC. Shout out to the whole crew at Emily Griffith. I love being a part of that, and I love teaching. I think actually someday that's another route that I want to explore and go down. But man, I think one of my biggest accomplishments is just teaching, man, and just and like Coach said, man, just being a pillar, being a mentor, and being a leader. You know, I always wanted to be that dude and that man in the room when other men walk in and look at me and say, I want to be just like AJ, man, and I take a lot of pride in that. And being a barber, man, that's something when people come into my shop, and you know, and that means a lot to me, man. It's just being that mentor and that pillar, just not only to the youth but to other guys around me.
That's important, bro, because you know, in society today, bro, we can have a whole podcast episode just talking about how bad some things are in society today. Sure. So these kids need positive male role models to look up to. I think about it growing up with me and the time that I grew up in and the opportunities I had to mess up. but I also had plenty of positive male role models around me. So it's definitely important. You talk about teaching and about, your road probably lead back to teaching at some point. Yep. And I think, your roads have kind of done that with coaching too.
For
like,
sure.
You've been a coach for a while now. Yeah. I know you coached your boy all the way up.
I did.
Through Pee-wees and stuff. So
Daddy Ball.
Daddy Ball.
Shout out Daddy Ball. Hey. They don't know until you have a son, though.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that's a whole nother. We're gonna have a whole nother podcast about Daddy Ball. Man.
Here's the thing that people don't understand though. Yeah, you can say Daddy Ball because Dad's coaching his son, but that coach is also a father figure to 22, 23, 24 other young men. You know what I'm saying? And when you get into high school, it's the same thing. Right. Like, you can call it Daddy Ball, but I'm also playing a daddy role to these other kids that really need it too. And it's not just about my kid. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about the team. And I think it's important, knowing your guys, like you two specifically, both being fathers, you coach your sons, seeing how you guys work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's never been in my mind a situation where I'm like, they're giving favor to their kids. Right. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Yeah. If anything, your kids go through hell.
Wow, man. My son's over me coaching him, bro. He's ready to spread his wings and do it. Yeah, he's over it for sure.
Because we hold them to a higher standard. And I think if parents would acknowledge how you coach their kids too, you expect the same things from their kids. So, you know what? You can accuse me of Daddy Ball. And I coached my son, my older son, AJ, and I coached my son, Donovan. Right. And I understand. Right. You know what I mean? And, I know Frank and David over at North, they used to get, people talking shit all the time about Daddy Ball. But you show up to a practice, you show up to a game and see how these men lead their kids and lead their team. And there's no question.
Exactly.
There's no question.
Exactly.
I don't want to go off on a tangent because I got some more questions about the barbershop. Yeah, go ahead. But real quick, when we talk about Daddy Ball or when people say the term Daddy Ball, I feel it's because they have a lack of Daddy Ball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts.
And a lot of people like to hate on the fact that majority of kids that have fathers that coach them are successful on the teams that they play on, but you got to also understand that majority of these kids have grown up around football before they played football, so they understand the game at a different level. You know what I mean? They play the game at a different level.
Being the child of a coach, you're definitely seeing things differently.
So before you knock it because you ain't doing it yourself, try to understand everything that goes into it. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Plus, that's Daddy Ball should be something that's celebrated.
Exactly.
For sure.
A man is a father and he's taking care of his kid. He's coaching his kid. He's active in his kid's life. Like, he's active in their after school activities.
We always want to talk about when a dad isn't around, right? Yeah. But we never want to talk about when a dad is in the life.
That's the most frustrating part, bro. Dude, we'll dog a dude for being a deadbeat. Yeah. But we will, we need, like you say, give a man his flowers. We need to give them flowers when they're doing the right thing, when they're out in the community doing the right thing. And which is part of the reason why AJ's here today, man. Because you know what? Sure. Doing the right thing out here leading these kids, and that's kind of what we try to do with DNA, with anything that we coach. I mean, I think we've all feel a certain calling to be leaders, to a calling to teach these young kids another way, or to kind of just, hey, I went through this path. You don't have to go through that path.
Exactly.
Like, that's what I'm here to kind of teach you. Don't worry about what I did. Worry about my lessons that I learned from what I did, so that you don't have to go through the same trials and same tribulations.
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
But back to the barber, and I have another question. You kind of already answered it, honestly. But what are some of the similarities that you apply to both coaching and barbering? Because you've already mentioned your leadership and just the relationship that you have with your students as well as your players. You know what I mean? And you touch so many lives, and you see their success inevitably is your success because you've taught them. You know what I mean? So I'm really interested in how you've been able to be successful in both things for so long, and if there's certain things that you apply to both.
And that's a good question, Don. But I'm gonna there's one word, man, and it's love, bro. Yeah. And I was at this. Years ago, I was at a seminar, a coaching seminar, and there was a guy that spoke about it, man, about love. And without love, nothing is possible, man, especially when it comes to coaching. So I put love into everything I do, man, and that's, from being here in the barbershop to being a dad to coaching, man, it all starts with love. And when you love and your players understand that and they know that you love them, I mean, they'll run through a tree, or they're going to try to. They'll run through a wall for you. Yeah. And same thing in the barbershop, man. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm the best barber, man, because there's young kids that could probably outcut me, man, and whatnot. But the things that I value, man, are just work ethic, being on time, and love, man, and loving what I do and loving my customers, man, even when they get on my nerves and they're picky. And you know, it's something that, you know, I've learned and, you know, I've grown with over the years. But just every day, just coming to work, you know, with a smile or trying to smile, and just putting love into every day, man. And same thing with coaching, man. And you know how hard it is to go coach after a long day of work, man, and you're stressed out, and you know, but you got to get there, man. And you just got to love, man. And you know, it's crazy, man, because when that coach, when he taught me that, and when that seminar, I'll never forget it, man. And I always just took that back with me. And when I'm having those days when I'm struggling, I'm like, man, just, you know what? You know, God put you here for a reason, and love these people, love these kids, man, and everything's going to be all right, man. And so we may not win every game, but, you know, it's love has just played a major factor in my success as a youth football coach and the barbering, for sure.
That's what's up. And that's a key word, right? Yeah. And people get confused with that word a lot and realize that tough love is still love as well.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And tough love is honestly the most underappreciated aspect of love until you're later on in life and you can glance back and you can realize that tough love that you got way before is actually what builds you the man you are today. And as I'm on that, I want to give a shout out to Coach Gallegos, and I'm not talking this Coach Gallegos. I'm talking your pops, man, because
my dad.
as many people don't know, we played ball together, you know, and Tom Mejia, rest in peace, and Coach Gallegos were a big part of my life as a young kid, you know what I mean? And some of the tough love that they done for me and my teammates, you know, went a long way with a lot of us as men today. So I just want to give a shout out to them and give them their flowers as well.
And what's real about that with AJ saying love, and I like what the word that you use there is love, and thinking about it from the football aspect is, some of these kids come from backgrounds where that might be the only true love they get, for sure, is on that field, right? Some of these kids might come from backgrounds where they get their ass chewed and ridden, or they're maybe, you know, not every parent is as focused and as attentive to their kids as they should be, right? So they might come from that position where coming to the football field, you know what, coach might ride my ass a little bit, but I fucking know he loves me.
You know
what I mean?
And when they look back one day and, that's why he did that. That's the reward, man.
Well, and it embeds that into their system, right? So like when they're raising their kids, or they're coaching their kids or other kids or something, they have that in them already. It's muscle memory to act a certain way, to present themselves a certain way, to be available a certain way, right? So I think that goes a long way, man, in just in molding people. And you know, it's the old sayings, you catch more flies with sugar than you do vinegar, right? And it's real, man, because you change lives with love. You don't change lives with hate. If anything, you corrupt lives with hate, right? You make real changes. If you want to see some change in the world, attack that shit with some love. Attack that with some positivity, because that's how you start making things change, man. You kind of touched on it a little bit, AJ. You know, beyond your father, what else inspired you to become a barber? Like, what made you say, "Hey, this is going to be the path for me"?
You know, and I want to shout out to Chuck Valverde too, man. My uncle Carlos, man, he used to go to Chuck right here on 52nd and Pecos. I know you guys probably know the old man Chuck Barbershop, Valverde Barbershop, but I used to go in there with him to get a haircut. You know, when he'd get his cut, and I talked to Chuck. This was before I became a barber. This was in high school. And, you know, I would just ask Chuck about his career, man. And Chuck was like, you know what, man, I've been a barber for 50 plus years in this location. And he goes, I wouldn't change a thing. He's like, man, I've owned 3 houses in North Denver. I take a trip to Mazatlan every year. He goes, no one's ever bossed me around. I love it. And when he told me that, I was like, man, like, you're your own boss. You don't have to punch a clock. I mean, wow. How cool would that be? Yeah. And so that's another piece of what, you know, how, you know, inspired me to become a barber, man. And you know, there's pros and cons to it, like everything else. Like, you know, when you're your own boss and your own, you know, there's a lot more responsibilities, man. You don't have those, you know, you don't have those great benefits that some of these big companies offer, and insurance, and, you know, you got to handle your own taxes. And, you know, that's been the learning curve for me, man, over the years, is staying on top of that things. And there was years I didn't file taxes, and years that I was that barber that was making cash and spending it. But over the years, you know, I just, you know, you learn those things, and you gain this knowledge and wisdom, and it kind of just pieces itself together, man. And I'm still learning, man. And I want to backtrack. And you brought up my pops, man. I'm 30. I'm gonna be 36 next month, and my dad's. It's still daddy ball with my dad. My dad's still coaching me. Dude. You know what I mean? So we'll always be our dad as his father speaking. I'll always be a coach to my son and my sons and my daughter, and the same thing with my dad.
Dude, that's what I've noticed about my relationship with my father since becoming an adult, becoming a father myself.
Right.
Like my relationship with Pops is different.
Right.
Like Pops is still, whether he knows it or not, he's still teaching and still, leading me in ways that I need to go. But we're forever teaching.
Yeah.
And even as coaches, like you're forever gonna be coaching.
Yeah.
I know you take a little break from coaching.
I'm taking
right
a little
now.
break. Yeah, a little break.
You're still gonna be Coach AJ. And you're still gonna.
I know,
it's,
man.
It's still gonna get you because you have that heart, man. You have that heart for these kids.
Right.
You have that heart for the community and giving back.
Right.
And it shines in everything that you've already done. So, regardless, you'll be back.
Yeah, I did definitely, man.
Well, even with us, right, we took a break from the high school coaching and just going to the games and being on the sidelines. I think senior night, we both talked about it. Like, we were both there like, man, I miss this.
Yeah,
I miss the preparation. As much as it sounds crazy, I miss the 7-day-a-week preparation to get here.
It's a love-hate relationship.
It really is,
but I don't miss it.
Yeah,
it really is.
I miss the camaraderie, bro. I miss game planning, trying to, watching film with each other. Like, how are we going to attack this team?
Right.
Because that's life, bro. Like, in life, sometimes you got to come together with other men, right? And be like, bro, I've been struggling with this.
Right.
How did you get past something like this? How do we get, it's just the fellowship with each other.
Yes.
That's important. And I miss that part. That's the part of football that we try to coach these kids up on and tell them like, yo, you got X amount of time to play ball.
Right.
You'll never be able to organize like this and do it again.
Right.
So it's that part of football that drives us when we get older too. Like it's the little intricacies.
Yes, absolutely. That's a big part. Big part of me for coaching is just being with the fellas, man, being with my guys and that are doing positive things, you know what I mean? And being able to relate to, that's one of the most the funnest things that I used to look forward to, man, is just being around my coaches, man. Yeah. Because they're going through similar things that we're going through. Yeah. They're struggling with certain things that we're struggling with too. We're all going through it, man, at times. And it's that camaraderie is big time, man.
As a coach, I know I love seeing when kids, even coaches, other partners on the staff, when they figure it out. Yeah. When something just clicks for them right away. AJ, what's some of your greatest experiences as a coach?
Oh, man.
I know there's a bunch because you've spent some time.
Yes, I have.
Spent some time.
Right.
But just, what stands out to you as just some of the moments
I think some of my favorite years were actually coaching, my early years coaching with my dad, actually, my nephew. Man, we had some really good seasons. We started off about 11, 12 years ago. Maybe, about a decade ago with the Pal Hawks, man. And that's, the organization I grew up playing for over at Sloan's Lake. And so me and my dad became coaches. We coached my nephew, Robert. Shout out my cousin, my nephew, Rob, man. He's a sophomore at Rawson Valley playing varsity ball. Nice. He suited up varsity.
Had a great season this year.
Great season, man. And he's wrestling too. And we'll talk about that another time. But, hey, shout out my nephew. But just coaching with my dad growing up, man. And we had some good years. Our first year, I think we won one game. And then we turned it around the next year, and he coached. He was the head coach. I helped him out. He ran the offense. I ran the defense. And then my dad decided to go coach in Wheat Ridge, actually, and I stayed with the Hawks to coach my son. And I spent about 5-6 years with the Hawks, man, and it was awesome, man. I ended up taking a team my son's third grade year. Actually, the year before that, we won the Super Bowl with Coach Jacob, actually, Cordova. That was a great year.
What up, Coach?
Coach Jake, man, that's my guy. But we won a Super Bowl, and then the next year I went on to coach my son. We went back to another Super Bowl. We lost to Prince Hall that year, and we went on to win a national championship in Albuquerque my son's third grade year. So those Pal Hawk years were great, man. And when Pal decided, I had heard a rumor that they were going to be shutting down, and we got out of there a little early. We jumped over to Wheat Ridge as well, and Wheat Ridge has been a great program, man. We did a lot of great things. We turned that program around. I mean, I've had help with Sal-Lin and all my cousin Sal-Lin, shout out Sal-Lin, and all the people and staff that helped turn that program around. We had some really great years, man, and it was really cool for me. One of the biggest joys was able to. Was to see the kids that I've coached. Some of them, dude, were with me since kindergarten, six years old, and I brought them all the way up to 8th grade. And man, that was a joy. I think my biggest accomplishment though, man, is 7th grade was last year, winning the D1 Carnation Bowl and then going to Las Vegas and winning a national championship with that team, man. It was really special, man.
That looked fun too, man. Yes. I seen the video from the games y'all played, and just the celebration, and you seeing the joy. It's something that you put a lot of work in a season. I don't think people understand when a season culminates and finishes the way you mapped it out, right? We plan on winning some championships. We plan on. I don't think people understand how fulfilling that is.
And it's almost more fulfilling with the offense I run, man. Everybody's in a shotgun or spread offense. I mean, I run a double wing, so to be able to win at that level was just it was remarkable, man. And the double wing offense is built for teams that don't have all the size and strength and talent. But if you could hide the ball, move the ball, trap the ball, attack the defense, man, it was awesome, man.
When run right, that's a great offense. Yeah. When run right, that's a really good offense. I love pounding the rock anyway. Sure. I'm offensive line coach, bro. Let's run the ball. Yeah. But that's a great offense when it's ran right. Yes. It's funny. I was on Instagram the other day and I seen this video of this school in California. It's a high school. Yeah. They have 7 pass attempts all season, haven't completed a seagle pass, but they're playing for the state title. And it's because they've ran for over 6,000 yards. They've got 76 rushing touchdowns. What's going to happen. And dude, that's the most demoralizing thing. If you can do to a team we're running the ball left. Right. We're running it. And I don't care if we're going that way. And then you go that way and they're like, shit, how do we stop this? And you're not gonna.
Right. You still have to have guys in key spots to be able to run that successfully. Let's keep it real. You're not running for 6,000 yards if you have just any old running back there.
No. You got to have a downfield tough runner. Absolutely.
Old lineman, executing your pulls and your blocking. You know what I mean? You need all the key elements. But yes, when ran right, it's very successful. Coach, you mentioned it a little bit earlier that, one of your biggest accomplishments was the Carnation Bowl last year, and you had kids since kindergarten all the way up to now 8th graders going into high school. For me, this is that opportunity that you have to, tell those guys whatever you want to say to them as they're getting ready to take the next journey in their life. What do you have to say to a lot of your 8th grade boys going forward? Oh man, this was a special year. This 8th grade year, we lost a lot of key players due to injuries and kids that just they went to other organizations and whatnot. But it was tough. It was a bittersweet year, man. I was sad that it was over, but I'm super excited for their next journey. But one of the most important things that I've always coached was discipline too, man. And I just told the kids, man, if they could just keep one thing from me and learn one thing, is just to be disciplined at the next level, know when to make the right choices. And that's big, man. I hope, some of the kids that I coach, they don't come from the best of homes, man. There's a lot of things that they struggle with. And I really hope that I've done my part as a coach, that when they're in that they're in that time or place where there's an opportunity there's a mistake that could be made. I hope that they look back like, I'm not gonna go that route, because I remember what Coach taught me, man. And, so a lot of my key players are going on to do some really cool things, man. I got some of my key running backs, Santana and Giano, are both going to play at Pomona for Johnson, man. Nice. I just, like I said, man, I just hope that they make the right choices, man, and they stick to it. And the thing I always struggled with in high school, man, and if I could go back, and even my friends that I played with still give me a hard time, is my undiscipline in the weight room, man. And I think that's huge, man, is being strong and getting in the weight room. And that's one thing I told my players, man, if you want to play 5A, you want to be the top player, the top dog coming into your senior year, you got to spend 4 years in the weight room, man. That's crucial, man.
You got to pay the price.
You got to pay the price, man.
You got to pay the price. Definitely. You mentioned teaching your kids discipline, and you're hoping that they take that discipline with them and go. That's another thing, like love, that sometimes kids don't get at home, and it's important that we provide that. And I know football's taught me discipline in so many ways, and organizational skills. You might want to go holler at your boys over there at Mile High, dude. Because they need some discipline out for sure. And if you want an example of how lack of discipline can kind of ruin a plan, go watch these professional teams. And it's crazy you see it on a professional level, because this is the best of the best. Right. But sometimes they lack discipline, right? And it's if you're allowing it, then that's kind of on you. So like you got to coach that out. So Broncos might be able to use Coach AJ, man. Get down there, and teach him some discipline.
I got a good friend over there. Shout out Josh Bruni, man. He's worked for been a Bronco guy for a long time, man. He's doing some good things with the Broncos too. Josh, hit me up, man. I need a job, bro. At least get me in that. Give me a barbershop in there. I'll go cut up all the Broncos.
Just get this man an interview, man. He'll take care of the interview.
Quality assurance.
Well, but a barber is a therapist, man.
There you go.
For sure.
Sometimes husbands trust me more than their own wives, man. They trust me more. But I could do some real powerful things inside that locker room, man. With my haircutting ability and my mentorship and leadership and.
Amen.
Let's get it, Broncos.
Hey, so I want to.
Go ahead, Coach. I was just gonna. Say something stupid.
Go ahead, say something stupid.
You just got to eliminate some of the funky cuts, Coach, like that some of these kids are doing these days. The Edgars and the who knows what you want to call them. I was at a volleyball game the other day, and this dude looked like the fucking helmet from Spaceballs was on the top of his head.
It's unbelievable.
As a barber, you owe it to our generation to cut their shit different from the way they request it. Give them a regular fade.
It is crazy, man.
That's what I love about the art. Right. Like it's an art, bro. Like you see some of these dudes that be doing like these designs and heads and shit, man. Like that's being a barber is like being an artist, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's dope, man. I respect that aspect of it because it's like not only do you get to you work to provide food on your table, but you can go get artsy with it too. Right. You can be a little fancy with it sometimes, and what makes a man feel better than when he got a clean cut?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? A good shave up.
Yes.
Looking dappered up. They're like, oh, man. Boy, ladies, lock the ladies up. Yes. It's going down tonight. And then your wife slaps you in the back of the head. You're like, oh, shit. Right. You weren't supposed to hear that.
Right. Like a cut, G.
Yep.
Hey, I want to just get in this mid-roll real quick, and we'll continue on with some more fun stuff. But, shout out Cutthroat Barber and Anglers.
Yes, sir.
Right here, 6814 West 38th Avenue in Wheat Ridge. Make sure you visit cocutthroat.com. See what AJ has going on up over here. Schedule an appointment. Yep. This man is a busy man.
Yep.
So if you want to get cut by one of the best, you better schedule that appointment and make sure you get in there. Yes, he accepts walk-ins, appointments. Yep. You find him on Instagram at co_cutthroat_barbers. Again, AJ, we're super proud of what you're doing here, man. This location is perfect. It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
Come out here and talk some fishing, and we'll talk a little fishing here in a bit because I don't get to talk that too much with Dom. We're gonna get him out on the lake though, bro. At least with a spin caster or something. You know what I'm saying?
Get him out there.
We'll go catch some trout.
We got to do it. Yes, sir.
But there's.
Hey, and all you guys, make sure you booking it up. He said this man is busy, so don't book an appointment and then cancel your appointment because not only are you wasting his time, but you're taking a slot from someone else that needs a cut.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the barber's pet peeve.
Yeah. So make sure you book it quick and make sure you book it often. Yeah. Support a Chicano business in the Mile High City.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy's been grinding for years, doing his thing, and it's time to give back to our people. Let's go, man. Support it.
Look, you can go to Great Clips, Sports Clips, any of these other places, right? You can go to there, but you ain't gonna be spending money with your community. Right. You dig what I'm saying?
Don't go there.
Like, this man puts all of his money and all of his heart back into the community, right? So come support a small business, support a local business, support somebody where you're going to see your money get put to work here. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that coach does, and he's a good dude, man. Yeah. Like, some of these corporations are greedy as shit, and they do wild stuff. So come support a good dude, support a good company, man. Yes, it's and get a good cut. Make yourself feel good. Look good for your wife. Look good for your girlfriends. You know what I mean? Like that's important too, boy. Like, but moving it along a little bit, right? We'll jump back into Cutthroat Barbers, and we'll really cap it off here in a bit. Yep. But what about Coach Prime coming to Boulder, dude?
Man,
I've been wanting to talk about this since it happened. I almost recorded a little short just to talk about it, bro, because I'm excited, dude.
I'm so excited.
Listen, it's crazy, bro. Like to keep it 100, right? I've never been a big CU fan, like out of this world CU fan. Like if it was the Rocky Mountain Showdown, keep it real, I'm gonna look for CSU. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Coach.
Listen, but I've always been an Ohio State Buckeye fan my whole entire life, man. I just love everything about that program. However, I've always been a fan of primetime. look good, feel good, play good. And the fact that he's here in Colorado is going to do so much for Colorado football.
It's a ripple effect, man.
It truly is. It's gonna bring so much attention to the state of Colorado, to Boulder, Colorado. It's gonna do so much for that school. But I also question, we talked about this earlier, said we're going to dive back into it. Is it going to affect Colorado athletes just a smidgen in the negative way? Hear me out on this. Primetime's going to bring what? Primetime recruits. Yep. He's going to bring he just got the top running back from Notre Dame to go over to CU as well. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing his son over. Yep. All the great Colorado athletes that we have that don't already stay here locally, now, are they going to get the same opportunities because they're not as high-end 5-star recruits as some of the kids that play in Florida, Texas, and California and whatnot? You know, so I really hope that it's going to attract more Colorado kids. I just hope we see more Colorado kids.
That's a valid point, though. Right. It's a really valid point.
Yeah.
You know, I like the move just for the relevancy it brings to CU.
Right.
Yeah.
We've been down, bro, like for a long time.
It needs it.
I grew up watching CU, man. When I was in high school, when I was playing ball, I got invited up there to go and tour the facilities and sit down with Coach Gary Barnett. And it was cool as shit, man. Cool. It was like one of the great experiences I had in high school. And they used to always have this return to dominance written up on the wall down at the locker room when you come out onto the field.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been a long overdue return of dominance. And it's important. Hey, just the fact that we have some sort of eyeballs and there's interest in Colorado, we need that, especially moving to the Pac-12. We haven't been able to recruit very well. So hopefully this does boost that recruiting. But you're right, though. It's going to have a ripple effect. And, you know, people are asking, like, what if it's a stepping stone for Dion? You know, and
who cares?
If it's a 3-year stepping stone and we have 3 successful years and it puts us back on the map, like, let's go.
People got to stop getting so personal with these coaches and these athletes when they're doing something that is a profession.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he has an obligation to his family to pay the bills, right? And he has no obligations to all these schools that he's coaching for. And in my opinion, if you leave a facility better than you found it, you did your job. Absolutely. And he left Jackson State better than he found it. And now he's in Colorado. Don't get it twisted. They will be competing instantly.
Oh, instantly.
Instantly. They'll be competing. He's going to bring some hardware to Colorado. And if he happens to go coach at Alabama or maybe even in the pros after he leaves Colorado, then so be it. Good for that man. Give him his flowers, man.
That just means that it's going to be it's something great had happened here, right? Like, and what's cool about it is Colorado's changed a lot in terms of how they accept in transfers, like for the credits, because that was a big problem getting people here. Is all the credits wouldn't transfer over, so they'd be ineligible. No one wants to sit out after transferring, so that they've changed that. They've given him money to hire a coaching staff, which is one of the other things that's always been a problem here, is keeping a good coaching staff, because they don't have that same luxury of being a state school and being a state funded school. So it's exciting to see that, man. Hopefully, you know, we always see these guys come in and they usually use CU as like creating leverage for a better deal. And I honestly, man, was wondering, like, is this what's going on? And then as it got closer, it became more real. And you start seeing the reports that he's going to accept the job. And then the next thing you know, he's on the flight. And he's in CU talking about, I'm here, I'm coming.
And do you follow their social media?
Oh yeah.
So you see all the videos, bro. Those videos are hype. His son's his like media guy. You know what I'm saying? And shouts out to them, because those videos are true movies, bro. You're watching them. He's going to these restaurants. You know what I mean? He's going to the.
He went to the buff.
Dion. By the way, man, you know, shout out to Boulder. You're doing your thing up in Boulder, but you need to come down this way and check out some food down here in the hood.
Don't take him to Chubby's.
You know what I mean? come get some hood cooking a little bit.
For sure.
You said you're from the South, and you know you're missing the grits and you're missing your South food. Well, come get some of our home cooking.
Nah, bro, it's exciting, dude. Like, just to see where we're going with this next couple of years with CU, bro. You know, we respected Dion for a long time. We talked about Dion in episode 5.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about how he's putting up his money to finish the Jackson State facility and everything he's done for that program. If he does a fraction of what he's done for that program here, it's going to be incredible, because he has resources here now. You know, one of the reasons why Jackson State wasn't in the FCS playoff is because it costs a team to be in the playoffs.
Right.
Yep.
They have to pay to host games. So Jackson State being a top seed, they would have to pay like $15K to host the first game, $30K to host the next game.
Wow.
And it goes up. I think it's like $50K when you get to the final, right? Dang. And so what Dion was saying is like, it makes us more money just to go to the Celebration Bowl than it does to go through the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and I think people were missing that fact. The fact that Jackson State 11-0, or 12-0 now, I believe, undefeated, top 10 team, top 5 team in the country, not in the playoff.
Right.
You know, it's wild to think about how messed up the system is. Right. But it's awesome to know that coming over to CU, Big 5 conference, right? Pac-12, you ain't got to worry about that stuff. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like, I was listening on the radio the other day, and they're talking about some of the boosters that are involved, and some of the board of regent people that are involved. They got cannabis money involved, trying to hire some of these coaches. Like, bro, we got to get him paid. Sparing any expense.
They're spending money they don't even have yet, bro. They're like, we ain't got the money yet, but we're gonna get it.
Get the dispensaries up, bro. They got money. Let's see if the weed money can help us out, man. I'm like, hey, you know what? Colorado's unique in that aspect where you can tap into that resource.
Yo, get your money.
Let's see that money get put to work. They're not fixing the streets with that shit, so let's get a good football team up in Boulder and let's go.
Yo, my dad couldn't pay for his season tickets quick enough too. Yeah, it's funny,
dude. That's the other stuff. Like the season tickets are up. You know, requests are up. All the businesses around that place, they're going to be booming on Saturdays, regardless if they're playing home or away. Right. It's really a trickle effect.
He needs to get him a primetime Kush strain. You know what I'm saying? And really capitalize on Colorado.
You know, it's funny too, man. Going back to that, I was like, you know, me and my dad, because we had to buy the Pac-12 network to watch the games. You can't go to like Old Chicago or they don't show the game, and that's why our fan base has been down, because they don't even show the games here. Yeah, you go to Alabama, the channel, it's on every channel. So I hope that primetime can do something to, you know, this whole ripple effect. Okay, we need to get the games on TV so the people here in Colorado can watch games.
Dude, I remember when I was a kid, them games used to be on like Channel 20 or Channel 3. You know what I mean? They'd always be on. It's the same thing going on with the Avalanche and the Nuggets.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like how you're not able to watch your championship, you know, a team that's contending for a championship is ridiculous. You know, and so like you say, hopefully that's one of the changes that come through up there, man. It's exciting though, man. When is the last time we talked about CU football like this?
Hey, you know what's even more exciting, bro, is the coaches clinic is going to be ridiculous next year. You know what I mean? So Hannah, I need to get in with you when you go to that coaches clinic next year. We need to go with you, bro, because that CU coaches clinic last year was off the hook. So I know this year it's going to be off the hook as well. So
I missed that one last year.
I need it in my life.
Man, hey, just some more good coaching, and it'd be great to go learn from some of the best, man.
Right.
So let's dive more into this recent venture with AJ, man.
Yeah.
Let's dive more into Colorado Cutthroats.
Yeah.
So AJ, you said you've been sitting on that concept for a little while, right?
Yeah.
What inspired the name and concept, man?
So, you know, it's funny. People ask me all the time, like, where would you get how'd you ever come up with this? But so when you think about the cutthroat trout, is obviously Colorado state fish, the greenback cutthroat trout. While in the barbering, a straight razor that you strop and hone is called a cutthroat. So it has the similarities there, the cutthroat trout, cutthroat razor, you know, and I kind of brought that together to create Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers, man. And, you know, I loved, you know, I owned AJ's All-American Barbershop for 9 years. You know, my dad helped me build that shop. It was great. With this shop, I really wanted to bring more of me and my passions and my love into it. And so I'm a big-time outdoorsman, angler. You know, I love cutting hair and I love cigars, and hopefully, you know, like I was telling you guys earlier, this room is going to kind of transform into a little cigar lounge. But
that's dope,
so I wanted to bring my 3 passions really into this, and that's how I came up with Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers, man. And you know, right now our grand opening is this Saturday. I'm hoping to have some, you know, in the near future, more fishing apparel, equipment. You know, that's kind of the plan down the road. But yeah, right now it's our slogan here is Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers, good haircuts, better stories, man. No, I'm sorry, good stories, better haircuts, man. So I'm gonna put that on the window, man, because it really is. It's a place for, like Dom said, man, come chill out, vibe out, and talk, man, and you know, just tell a story, man. Bring your fishing stories. I'm gonna have a board up here. Bring all your bragging board. Bring all your pictures of.
That's what's up. I noticed some of the pictures up here with the stringers full and stuff. That's dope.
Definitely, man. So that's kind of the route we're taking with this, man. And I'm super excited, man. this back room also, I'm going to host some classes on anywhere from everything from beginning to advanced fishing classes. Hopefully, I can bring some guides in here, and
that's what's up.
And get the community involved, man. I'm really excited about that.
What better way to get your fish stories off than getting a nice cut,
exactly,
bro? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's really dope, man. It's very unique what you're doing here. You know, whenever you're in any market, you want to cornerstone that market, and you're definitely doing it. But even more so with the creativity that you've used in your choice of menu. So let's talk a little bit about the names on the menu of your cuts.
Right. Yeah, so it's when you can book, like Coach said, cocutthroat.com. I use the Booksy app, but all of my haircuts are kind of named after a certain fly or technique, man, and I thought that was super creative. You know, for instance, I have the woolly bugger, which is it's a fly we use, but it's also the name of a kid's cut in here. So, and I make sure to, in parentheses, to put the type of haircut so that, you know, people that don't do fishing know what you're getting into. But and yeah, that's another thing, Coach. Is somebody asked me, well, is your shop only for fishermen or anglers? I'm like, no, man, that's the theme behind it. That's the feel behind it. But I mean, we're open to everybody and anybody, and whoever wants to come in and talk and get a haircut and talk fishing, talk sports, talk whatever. That's what the barbershop's about. But yeah, man, just the names of just different fishing styles, different flies we use, and it was real creative. People are bugging out on that, man.
That's the low key dope thing about it, because like I'm passionate about taking people fishing for their first time, right, or enjoying that, because my dad, I grew up fishing. My dad used to take us fishing all the time, and you know, it's a great spot for meditation, self-reflection, you know what I mean? And so being able to get people to start that conversation, well, what's a hopper dobber? You know what I'm saying? Or you know, what's the streamer? What is that with fishing? And being able to kind of just spark that curiosity with a haircut, dude. You know what I mean? It's super creative. I think it's dope, man. I like it. I'm gonna have to come over here and get a hopper dobber. You know what I mean?
For sure, absolutely, man.
you got beard works and things like that, bro. It's super dope, man. And like I said, it gets that question going. It gets that curiosity going, you know, and somebody else that might not be a fisherman or woman, and or an angler, and you know, hey, I was at this barbershop, and they had they had pictures of fish on the wall, and they had fishing poles, and man, I've never been fishing before. I think I might want to try it. And, you know, I think that's dope, dude.
And it's very smart, right? It's creative. How many times do you get a kid in your chair, right? And it's like, Mom, what kind of haircut I want? Dad, what kind of haircut do I want? How do I want it cut? You know, I want to. Now the kid just walks up and he just orders it by the catchy name. You know what I mean? Like so very smart, man. Because now a mom, for instance, right? All those, shout out to those single mothers out there. Bring your kid to the shop. Tell him to run in and get his cut while you sit in the car and do whatever you're scrolling on your Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So it opens up doors for more business. Yes, absolutely. You know what I mean? So very smart, hot idea in my opinion. You know, the industry, just like everything, is growing more and more. It is, man. Each day. Yes. So aside from like the catchy ideas and things like that, how do you continuously stay on top of the game, keep up with the Joneses? Yeah, well, it's funny because, you know, when you bring up the certain haircuts that these kids are wearing these days, but, you know, it's important as a barber that you have to move with the trends, man. You know what I mean? And hair, you know, it's funny, the term master barber, it's to really earn that term master barber, I don't know if you really ever can, and I tell barbers that all the time, because like, can you really truly master something that's constantly changing? You know what I mean? Because it really is. And sometimes I do a technique and I'm like, why didn't I do that before? Like, how did that just pop in my head? And I've been cutting hair for 16 years, but you know, the barbering is moving. It's changing. There's not all of it's good, not all of it's, you know, some of it's most of it's great, some of it's, you know, not so great, but that's like any other industry, you know. Sometimes these young barbers are kind of, you know, they're fed certain things and certain ways, and it's, you know, I think it's kind of hurt barbering in an aspect, because I'm old school, man. I believe in getting into work early, staying late, and, you know, and grinding, man. And I think sometimes, you know, these barbers look at it as just kind of like a fad, or
we'll do a couple cuts for the gram, and then go home. And when you're a father like me, and you got deadlines to meet and bills to pay, man, you're in there grinding, man, and I take a lot of pride in that. But and hopefully, that's kind of my goal too, is to find a couple barbers that I haven't really hired anybody. I have a lot of people interested, but I really want to find the right people that have the right vision, just like me. You know what I mean? So
be on that same level.
Be on that same level. Yeah,
that's what's up. Yeah.
So I'm gonna get into my fun part now, bro, because this is what I want to.
Yeah.
When we booked you on, man, I was like, yo, I get to talk fishing with AJ.
Let's talk fishing, man. I can't wait.
Hey, where'd you find your passion for angling, bro?
Oh man, my dad, man. My dad is just like you. We grew up fishing, man. Since I was 2-3 years old, I can look back at. Some of my fondest memories as a kid is my dad, on a Friday, Saturday. My dad, he worked for the post office for 23 years, worked 6 days a week most of the time. But the times when my dad would tell me, hey, we're going to go fishing on Sunday. Oh, man. I would sometimes stay up all night, man. I wouldn't even go to sleep, dude, because I was so excited, And my dad's early bird. We're up 3-4 in the morning ready to go, He'd pack some bologna and bread, man.
All day affair.
Yeah, he's gonna get mad at me for saying that. Yeah, right. I took you to McDonald's now. No, but my dad would pack us some lunch, man, and we'd go fishing, man. And one of my favorite spots as a kid was going up to Vail. We have a spot, Piney River. That's our family spot, man. And I take some of my friends from time to time. But just going to places like that, my dad's old school. I got into fly fishing, probably 3 years ago, 3-4 years. I've always wanted. I had a fly pole as a kid. I never really got into it. I wasn't able to get into fly fishing until I was, like I said, 3 years ago. Because my dad is old school, man. He's a split shot and a worm guy. He's a power bait guy. You know what I mean? He's a bait fisherman, and I like to do that too. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to sit here and tell you that I'm a straight fly fisherman. I'm an angler. I love all types of fishing, from ice fishing, fly fishing. But that's how I got my start, man. And and with Coach Zach, actually, when we were about 20, 21, Zach and I have been friends for a long time. He took me fishing at Granby. And they were cutting up pieces of sucker meat and putting on their hook. But what the heck you guys doing? I never fished like. He's like, oh, we're fishing for lake trout. I go, what's lake trout? And he's like, oh, it's a Mackinaw. It's a different type of species. It's a char. It's not part of the trout family. And I had never. I'm from Colorado. In my early 20s, I had never heard of this stuff. And so, dude, they throw these big hook and sinker out with sucker meat, and they start catching these huge monsters. So that's what fueled my passion for lake trout.
Okay.
And I went ice fishing with him later that winter, and for the last 15, 16 years, man, we've been going hard, man.
They're killing it up.
Yeah, so that's how we got my start, man. And shout out to Zach and Cesar, man. Those are my fishing buddies. The whole Big Mouth Browns. We got like a little fishing crew that we go with every year, man. It's awesome, man. I'm a big time fisherman, man. That's my passion.
Go tug some lips, bro.
Yeah.
I've never been ice fishing before, man. It's something that I've been wanting to go do.
You got to do it.
And then fly fishing too. I'm just barely learning. I'm a spin caster. I like bait casting sometimes too. But I always get my 2 poles so I can toss one deep, and I'll be over here tossing that lure, working a jig or something like that, man. It's a great time to get with yourself too, bro. It's self-reflection.
Oh, man.
And I think it's important as men to have them moments where we reflect on ourselves. Right? Because sometimes there's not someone around to give you a checkup for the neck up, right? Yes. Sometimes you got to be humble enough to be able to understand, hey, you're slipping, you're doing this, you're doing that. So, any opportunities you get for meditation, kind of self-reflection is always good ones. And I've always taken fishing as that opportunity, because that's kind of how my dad treated it. And we learned. Exactly. I was blessed to be able to learn from my father. Not a lot of folks get to learn from their dad. You know what I'm saying? And so I was blessed to be able to have him in my life to be able to teach me, we'd go out there as a kid and I'd be making noises and shit. He's like, just relax, just chill. And I didn't understand the lessons he was teaching at that moment, right? But it's also, it was the lesson of just relax.
Just
let your mind rest.
Exactly.
That's the biggest
stress. Thing. I think when you're working water, especially with fly fishing, man, you're so concentrated on on the water and the fish that doing the right things and being quiet and the right moves, and that your mind that's all it's focused on, and so you forget about everything. And that's the great thing about fishing, man, is you're just so focused on the water and the fish that.
And like bait casting's easy. Like it's easy to put some bait on a hook, throw it out there, right? The challenging part, and this is what I like about fishing, because this is why I got the 2-pole.
Right.
It's like the challenging part is working them ridges, working that underwater structure, your presentation of whatever bait you're using, whether it be a lure or a fly. If you don't present that right, dude, these fish, you think they're dumb fish, and dude, these fish ain't gonna hit that shit, man. And it's just being able to kind of mess around with that presentation and mess around with your technique a little bit, kind of humbles you a little bit when you get skunked too.
Yes, absolutely. I've had plenty of those days, man.
And that was like all of my fishing experiences is getting skunked. Because honestly, everything you're talking, Pops always take me out, you know what I mean? But I'm a city boy through and through, bro. So like whenever I would enjoy going with Pops, it was only for the meditation aspect of it. You know what I mean? I'll throw my line out and I'm just gonna sit here. I don't even there'll be times he'd be like, they're biting your line, and I'm just lollygagging to the line trying to get, and he get mad, bro. He get frustrated with me because I just would use it just for my getaway. You know what I mean? I never was interested in it to the point where I was gonna take it serious. But it was always just the motivation, the meditation.
That's some of my favorite trips now. Like me and my dad, we used to do. My birthday's April 4th, so it's right at the beginning of the season. So we used to always do an early season fishing trip, camping trip. I mean, we've been out there freezing, getting snowed on before. But it was always something I looked forward to, and I still do to this day. We go fishing all the time for my birthday, and it's just that moment with Pops. Right?
Exactly.
It's like, yo, we're gonna chill out. There's not gonna be none of this bullshit behind us. We're just gonna be kicking it as us. And I've always seen my dad let his hair down a little bit, so to speak, and he was on me about things. But that's also where he gave me a little bit longer leash to kind of learn from myself and to be my own man and whatnot when we go camping or fishing. So I've always, and that's one of the things that I'll continue to hand down to my boys. You know?
Do you do any hunting, Al? Or
I've just started getting into hunting, bro. I haven't been yet. I didn't grow up around a lot of guns when I was a kid. But then, you know, my brother got me collecting a little bit, and then I had set a goal for this year to kill my own turkey for Thanksgiving, and unfortunately, I did not accomplish that goal. And it's important. It's important though when we set goals and we don't we fail on them to understand it.
Did you go to attempt?
No, I didn't even go, man. I got caught up in not finishing out my hunter safety course.
Well, it's not that you failed. You know what I'm saying? You'll get it.
I think it's okay to fail though.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like, you know what? I dropped it this time. It's still a goal of mine. Like, the goal is to get out there because I like the idea of being able to provide your own food for your family. Like, you fill the freezer up. You know,
that's
I've been practicing though. I love shooting. Like. I love shooting and I love fishing, man. That country is shit sometimes.
You know, Al, you told me something one time, bro, and you know, since you told me this, I've used this numerous times, dude, and not only with coaching, but in life and people I talk to, you know. But you said one time, Al's in life, they're not for losses, they're for lessons, man. And bro, when you told me that, man, that hit a different spot, bro. I was like, wow.
It's real though, bro, because think about the failure. True failure is when you don't learn from your lessons, right? You don't learn from your losses. If you go out there and do the same shit after a loss and you don't apply any change, that's a failure for sure.
All successful people in life failed numerous times.
Absolutely.
Failure builds success. People are too afraid to fail that they don't try. That's the problem, you know, like the fear of failure is scary. You know what I'm saying? I got these kids at home. I can't take this leap of faith because I may not be able to provide for them. But taking that leap of faith sometimes is what gets us over that hurdle and to success. You know what I'm saying? Like success isn't comfortable. It's an uncomfortable thing to get to. You know what I'm saying? But once you get there, then you feel the comfortability.
I mean, and you know, you got to be bold. You can't worry about missing your shots. MJ's got like the greatest old quote, you know, talking about the shots he's missed. You know, we remember the ones he's made. Don't nobody remember the ones he's missed. And it's important to miss them shots, right?
Absolutely.
You know, we've got to be able to correct ourselves when we're wrong, and the only way you can do that is by understanding where you screwed up at or where you're taking your L's at. And,
for sure.
You know, it's hard, but
for sure.
It's hard to not be afraid to fail. Like especially when you have kids, you got family. Failure's not an option. But at the same time, not trying isn't an option either.
For sure.
Man, AJ, you kind of mentioned some of your favorite spots to fish in the state. Bro, if you can fish anywhere in the world, where are you going?
You know, it's funny, man. The more I get into fly fishing, and you know, there's a thing behind fly fishing is once you pick up a fly rod, they say you never turn back. You know, because it's it captivates you, man. And there's like so many intricacies to it, man, and so many different ways to do it. And presentation is everything. But if I could go one place, man, it'd be Argentina, man, to fish for the trout, the brown trout there. I watch YouTube videos and other anglers that have been to Argentina, man. It's like it's a fly fishing heaven, man. And so if I could go anywhere in the world, it would definitely be to Argentina. And I'm going to make that happen sooner or later,
there you
man.
go.
I really
Put it
am.
out there.
So I really am, definitely.
Hey, and you got the platform now to do it, right? You're opening up this unique shop that is going to bring you success, my brother. Like again, you cornerstone the market here. Right. You're gonna attract a whole lot of people that you haven't attracted in the past with your other ventures, and it's gonna open up these doors and these opportunities to create new groups, new friends, and new journeys in your life, and just enjoy the ride, man.
Right. I appreciate
wherever it takes you, enjoy that ride.
Well, I appreciate that.
Dude, that's dope. I can't wait to see a big old map on here with like pictures of different places where I caught this. You caught this fish over here. Yeah.
Exactly.
I've been here.
Exactly.
I've been wanting to go to like Florida or even the Amazon fish for peacock bass.
Oh yeah, that would.
Them things are so temperamental, bro. And they destroy shit. I watch a bunch of dudes on YouTube fishing peacock bass, dude. And they're just so temperamental, bro. They'll destroy shit. I think it's dope what you're doing here, AJ. I'm super excited, man. I can't wait to see how it grows and where it goes. And if we can do anything to push people your way, man, we're definitely going to do it. Y'all make sure you guys get out here December 17th.
17th, yes.
Grand
4 to
opening.
10. We'll have some drinks, some food, and kids. Every family's welcome. This my shop's always a family-oriented barbershop, man. So everybody's welcome to come on down, and And like you said, we do walk-ins and appointments, man. It's going to be a good time. Come through.
Hey, it's December 17th. You said 4 to 10.
4 to 10. Yep.
Make sure you hit up the website, cocutthroats.com.
Yes, sir.
Instagram, co_cutthroats_barbers. Make sure you pick up and follow what they're doing there. More than anything, man, make sure you support what this man is doing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I respect the shit out of what he's done in our community and what he's done for our kids. So I definitely want to make sure that we're able to support what you're doing out here in the business. And it's important for these kids to see business owners and leaders can come from their community and come from their skin tone and from who they are and where they come from. So sky's the limit for a lot of these people. I mean, did you ever think when you were a kid that you'd be owning your own shop and doing your own thing like that?
No, I had no idea, but you know what, man? It's been, like I said, it's been a journey, man, and I'm so blessed to be here, man, and I'm so blessed to be a part of this, and I can't wait for the new year and for the future and all the things that come with this, man, and I'm ready to embrace the grind, man. So on.
Hey, real quick, I know we're getting towards the end of it, but we haven't talked about one important piece that I feel is probably the most unique piece. But do you plan on Cutthroat growing as a brand, man? Because your design and your logo you have is pretty unique and it's pretty cool. Right. And I could see a lot of people, regardless of whether they come get cut in your chair or not, rocking your gear.
Right.
So, do you have any intent on trying to, go outside of your comfort zone a little bit and maybe start a clothing line or a brand from Cutthroat? So
that's the plan. We already have that in the mix, man. We're getting all the apparel and everything ready right now. I'm actually even trying to get. I was trying to get a booth at the International Sportsman's Expo, man. Because I definitely, I'm definitely want to target the outdoor world, man, and build, like Coach said, build those connections and be able to meet people and travel with people. That's the plan. There's definitely a bigger picture just beyond the barbershop of what we're trying to do here, for sure.
Man, if you get a booth down at ISC, let me know. Me and Pops, that's an annual thing for us. We go hit up ISC all the time. So if you get a booth down there, man, let me know. I'll definitely come down and support. And we'll get a live interview or something.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
That's what's up, man. And you may not know this, but I work at Spyderco, the knife factory up in Golden.
Yes, sir.
But I would love to, as a gift, as your friend, for me to get you a Spyderco knife with your logo on it. So if you can share me your logo, I'll definitely get you one. So that way, you could post it in here in your shop from us over at DNA.
Oh man, that's what's up, bro. That's a blessing. Right on. Thank you, man. That's amazing.
Super excited. Yeah. It went well over an hour. We're rolling along, and I feel like we can sit here and talk for a number of hours, man. So we'll definitely have to do this again. This has been great, man. Definitely appreciate you hosting us.
Thank you guys for having me.
I thought it'd be fun to come down here and do it from here.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, this was great.
And super proud, man.
Right on.
Before we get out of here, AJ, we have a mailbag question. And we ask our listeners to send us a question something that they want to talk about on the show, something they want to see on the show, and this one happened to be for you. And remember, put y'all name on this so we can give you some love. But for Coach AJ, over the years, you've coached and worked directly with young people, teaching them to barber, teaching them football. What is it that pushes you to work with young people? And are there people who inspired you to work with young people?
Okay, yeah. So just going back to like I said, one of my biggest inspirations is my dad coaching and the way he raised me. But I take so much pride, guys, in being Chicano, man, and our people, man. And so one of the, I've always I think I've always thrived as a coach, coaching inner city kids, coaching brown kids, man, and helping those kids understand that the opportunities are just the same for them. They got to go get it. They can be anything they want. They can be just as successful as anybody else around them, man. So I think going back to Coach Prime, I think it's about relatability, man. When kids want to play for you and they can relate to you, man. And so that's just one of my things, man. I just take a lot of pride in my community, in my gente, man, and being Chicano, man, and the kids, man, and like I said, just giving them some hope and opportunity, man. Sometimes that's all they need, man, is an opportunity, man, and for someone to believe in them, man. So that's just to answer that, man. That's what drives me, man. Is just kids and not only Chicano kids, man, but just the youth in general, man. I just think that they're going through a lot of different things, a lot of differences of how we were raised, and
sure.
And so these kids, they just need better leaders, better mentors, man, and dads got to be better dads, man. Including myself, I can always be a better father, man. So. Yep. That's just to sum that up, man. Yeah, that's my answer to that question. Yeah.
Man, appreciate it.
That's what's up, man. That was a perfect way to answer that one.
Yeah.
Dude, wow, hey. Yeah. December 17th, 4 to 10. Yeah. Get down here, 6814 West 38th Avenue. Call it a Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers. Right. Or Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers, excuse me. Yep. Great freaking thing you got going on there, AJ. We appreciate you for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you.
Once again, as usual, man, we got to shout out everybody. Starting with Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers. Yep. Shout out Arsenal Custom Apparel, Rebel Promotions, Black Sevens, Janice's Catering. Man, our folks, man. Shout out to everyone that listens to us, tunes in every week, and even when we're not here.
DNASportsDenver.com. Go get you some merch. Go check out a podcast. Go book a session. Check us out today. Again, man, we are here for the community. We're supporting the community. And if you're not at that grand opening, you're missing out. All right, so make sure you come check him out, check us out, and we'll continue to support Colorado movement.
Let's get some work in, y'all. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your time. If we don't get to you before the holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holiday, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate.
All that.
Get around with your family. Get around with the people. Yep. It's not about the presents underneath the tree. It's about the presents around the tree. So make sure you show us some love, y'all. We're going to get up out of here. Coach AJ, man, appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. Dom, all love, brother. Hey, DNA Sports Training. We out.